Hello nerds, I'm Psycho. This is a special Key and Magna video in which I explain how to make a Pell dummy. This is going to be a kind of mix of a how-to and a let's build because there's no real right way to build a Pell dummy. All you need for an effective Boffer Pell is something you can hit without degrading your weapon that stands on its own with an optional shelf to act as a shoulder. Simple as the name of this build, the end result will be the easiest and bare minimum for a Boffer Pell dummy. Because of the low damage threshold a Boffer Pell needs to take, the materials needed to make one are both cheap and easy to work with. First, we're going to need 30 to 40 pounds of concrete mix at around $2.50 per 10-pound bag. Next, we'll need a 5-gallon bucket at $3.50. After that, we'll need some foam. Usually, if you're at the point of building your own Pell, you've already been in the sport long enough to have got some used or scrap foam just laying around already. However, if you're looking to make a specific shape, a cheap option that can also be used for other projects is Ozark Trail Camping Pad. Depending on where you live and how you purchase them, it can cost $6 to $9. I bought this pad for $7.98 at my local Walmart, but I'll be using a very well-worn egg crate camping mat that I had lying around. Now, the PVC is where your price range will vary. I bought a 2-inch by 2-foot piece, a 1.5-inch by 2-foot piece, a 1.5 by 5-foot piece, and a 90-degree elbow for about $10.50. But all you really need is a 5 to 6-ish foot piece and then cut that down to size, more like what my last Pell dummy pictured here was. Next we'll move on to tools. All we'll need is some kind of saw, a pair of scissors, a sturdy stick to mix the concrete with, and duct tape. That's it. Well, I would also recommend nitrile gloves, a face mask, and protective eyewear, but the material is safe enough to work with without those safety precautions, as long as you work in a well-ventilated area and clean up after yourself. Now for the actual build. I've got 2 buckets, one with concrete and water separated in them. I also have the stirring rod made up of an old piece of PVC. It's important that you take notice of the fact that I'm pouring in all the mix at once. Don't do this. Mix the concrete with the PVC per the instructions, 1 bag at a time. I did not learn my lesson from the last time I mixed concrete for a Pell dummy, and I loathe the sheer amount of time I had to take failing to mix the concrete properly. Next, I'm putting my 2-inch by 2-foot piece of PVC into the center of the bucket of wet concrete. For this build, I want the dummy to break down for travel and storage, so my smaller PVC will fit snugly inside of the larger one that's already inside the cement. This can also double as a flag stand or something. You may consider drilling holes into the PVC to allow the cement to better keep the PVC in place. But this build is supposed to be simple as possible, so I'm not doing that. Next, I'm putting my 5-foot length of PVC into the weighted end to figure out how tall I want it to be. A good height to shoot for is your own shoulder height, because we don't do headshots in foam fighting. I couldn't find my own hacksaw because I was blind and forgot I hung it on the back of my work table, so we're going to use my PVC cut. Oh. Well, time to put on normal pants and high power tool through this. Then power tool it again after I realize I forgot to include the height of the PVC elbow. Now we test fit. Beautimus. Next, we'll duct tape the pieces together because PVC glue is a huge hassle. Finally, we're going to add foam. Depending on how you want your Pell to be used, you probably want to use more than I have here. First, I'm going to do a rough measurement of how much I want on the Pell and cut that out of the camping pad mass. Then I'm going to tightly duct tape the pad to the Pell, and add a little bit to the top of the Pell for practicing shoulder shots. And I'm done. It took an hour of work outside of waiting for the cement to set. And I know it's not that impressive, but it is the bare minimum you need to Pell your Boffer strikes. Comparing it to the unfinished rattan combat Pell dummy in the background right now, it definitely seems dinky. Consider this video a jumping off point for figuring out what you want out of your Pell. But for $22 or $30 if you include the foam price, this is all you'll need to get started in bettering your stick off the field. For more information regarding what you might like out of your Pell dummy, refer to the links in the description for pelling advice and drills that may shape how you want to build your Pell. Special thanks go to the Kingdom of the Rising Winds for asking me to make this tutorial to help us continue to improve during the off-season. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you like this video, and please comment any questions, critiques, or video suggestions you'd like me to see. And farewell, my friends.